Good evening. I am porting an old iPhone game of mine to Game Boy. Um, and so today, uh, we're going to be programming in JavaScript. We're going to be programming a Game Boy game, but we're going to be using JavaScript today because what I want to do today is I want to get a better level editing experience implemented. What I've been doing so far, let me switch to the main view real quick. What I've been doing so far in assembly is relying on levels typed out by hand. So it's just a bunch of number literals. And this works, but obviously this isn't that easy to get a visual intuitive sense over. Like this bunch of numbers describes this map right here. And I am able to edit these numbers and see the changes. Like I could go here, type 0, hit build, and it should build. It's slowly building. Well, while it builds, I can edit. Okay, there it goes. I can change numbers one by one. There, see? I can change numbers one by one, then rebuild, and then you can see the changes in the map. But this isn't a very visual way of working with maps, and it'll be very hard to do level design if I'm relying on changing numbers like that. And so what I want to do is to start using the tiled map editor instead, which is an open source visual map editor. Let's switch back to the intro. It's a visual map editor. It'll be a lot more productive for me to work in it instead. So what I want to do is set up a tile set in the tiled map editor, create a map, and then write a shell script that will convert from that file format into the data format that I'm using. And then wire up the make file to detect when I've created or changed any maps, and then run that shell script to do the conversion. It'll produce an ASM file like I have right now, and then it'll get compiled in the game. And that should be a much more productive way of working. And so the reason I'm going to be using JavaScript today is because I'm going to be writing the shell script in JavaScript. I just enjoy using Node.js for shell scripts. So we're going to be using JavaScript in the production of a Game Boy game today. So previously, on the last stream, we got the ability to move the hero implemented. So I can switch back to the main feed here. So previously, I got the ability to use the arrow keys to move around, but you can see that it doesn't have collision yet. The hero's able to walk anywhere in the map, and the hero's even able to walk off screen. Previously, I said that I was thinking of getting collision implemented in this stream, and I don't think I'm going to do that this stream. The reason I don't think I'm going to do that is because of coordinate conversions. So I've tweeted a few times that I've been starting to experiment with Game Boy Advance programming while I've been doing this, and to get used to Game Boy Advance programming, I've also been implementing this game on the Game Boy Advance. And at this point, I've actually moved ahead of my Game Boy progress on Game Boy Advance. But I've gotten it to the point on the Game Boy Advance where I can move around on the screen, bump into the walls, and shove the gems. And when the gems line up with each other, they break each other and all that. And the thing is, in this game, there's a lot of different coordinate spaces. There's the background tile map coordinate space. There's the logical space where like each gem or the hero or an empty square is a space. There's the gameplay logical pixel field space where the hero occupies, which is like 16 pixels for every square. And then there's the actual screen space, which is like the pixel space, but offset a couple of pixels because the camera scrolled a little bit. And having a bunch of different coordinate spaces in a game is a very normal thing. And it's just that you need to convert from different coordinate spaces as you go. You need to be able to like convert between different coordinate spaces as you need them in different applications. And what I've been doing so far in the Game Boy version and in the Game Boy Advance version so far is I have not been very disciplined about having any sort of like core authoritative coordinate format or anything like that. I just have everything work in whatever coordinate format it needs at a given moment, and then I just do a conversion on the fly. And it's been working fine, including on the Game Boy Advance. It's just I've been noticing that there's quite a lot of coordinate conversions going on. And I feel like it would be cleaner if the different systems had like a single authoritative coordinate system with which to communicate with each other. Like every external API for a system, like every external API for a system only works with like a single authoritative coordinate space and then performs a conversion internally. And then works from there. But as it is right now, every different API just takes arguments. Oh, hey there. Every internal, what was I talking about? Completely lost my train of thought. Is that like right now, every major API just takes a coordinate in the coordinate space that makes sense for it. And I'd rather unify it and have every major API and every major system interact with each other using a single unified coordinate space. And I just need to figure out how I want to represent that. Do you need to know C language to do Homebrew? On the Game Boy, you can use either assembly or C, or there's also GB Studio, which has a little bit of scripting itself, and any of those three are options. This game right here, I'm doing in assembly, but any of those three are options. Assembly is going to be the most performant language. Also a bunch of custom languages. E.g. Wiz. Yes, Wiz is another interesting one. Can you use Go language? I don't think that there's a Go backend. ISO is got the right answer there. I don't think there's a Go backend for C. Or I don't think there's a Go backend for the Game Boy. Assembly would be the most performant language on Game Boy. Depending on the scope of your game, you might not need that performance. Like this game, even though I'm programming this game in assembly, I am very confident that I could fit performance budgets in C. And then I haven't messed that much with GB Studio, but it wouldn't surprise me if the scripting was robust enough that I could even implement this in that. So anyway, I was going to do collisions in this stream, but I want to get a little bit further ahead in the Game Boy Advance version of the game and figure out how I want to unify how I'm handling coordinate spaces between different APIs, and then take that lesson and apply it here. So instead, what I'm going to be doing this stream is I'm just going to be working on being able to build maps using the tiled map editor. So this stream, we're probably not going to be touching ASM hardly at all. We're just instead going to be using the tiled map editor. We're going to be writing JavaScript to convert things. We're going to mess with the makefile to make it so I can convert the maps. And then the shell script that I write to generate these things, it's going to be spitting out assembly. So there'll be assembly involved that way. But aside from that, there's not really going to be much assembly programming this stream. Tiled, yes, this tiled map editor. Couldn't you use pixel coordinates? Yeah, it's pixel coordinates is one of the coordinate spaces that are being worked with, and it's one of the things I am considering. It's just sometimes some things work in like grid unit squares. I just need to figure out which one I want to go with as the go-between between APIs. Oh wait, I'm still on the camera feed. I opened up the tiled map editor and I'm like, here, look, this is the tiled map editor, but it's still just showing my face. Here, let's cut to this. Okay, yeah, the tiled map editor. I'm going to be using this. And let's just save the project right now. Yes. Okay. I think I put the development folder. Where did I put it? Yeah, I think a pixel space is probably what I'm going to be using as the authoritative coordinate space, but I just want to have the time to have like a more fleshed out code base in the Game Boy Advance version and see what it looks like. because I'm thinking I'm probably also going to want to have some convenience conversion APIs for when I need to work in like map tile space or gameplay logical tile space. Even with working with grid-locked engines, it removes some annoying idiosyncrasies as far as my experience goes. I think I'm probably leaning towards pixel space, but again, I just want to. I just want to have like some code to experiment with and play around with. Okay, so we're going to start by creating a tile set. Actually, the first thing that we're going to start with is creating the tile set image. Oh, there's an Aseprite update. So I'm going to need these things here. So in tiled, in order to make maps, you need a tile set. And I need a tile set image to be building the tile set on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another image specific for the tile set that is just going to be based on this thing right here. Each index is a different type of tile: ground, wall, exit, the different gems, the hero, etc. And so I'm just going to map the tile set to each of those. Oh man, ISO, if you want to see, I think it ended up taking me 4 hours total, but let me show you a little bit of what's going on here. So I've got ones representing solid walls, and I've got zeros representing open ground in the internal format, and then like different numbers represent different types of map objects. But when you look in the level itself, you see that there's like fancy rounded corners in the terrain and everything, right? There is like this full auto mapping algorithm implemented in the Game Boy that takes the difference between like the ones and zeros and finds out which individual actual graphical map image needs to be placed where in the tile map. Even though like the map format that I author in just uses ones and zeros for solid ground and oops, auto tiling. Yep, exactly. And so like the first stream where I started it on, that one got lost, but on YouTube, like the second video is in there. And so you can see like the second half of me implementing it. Hard to make efficient, but I guess you don't alter walls during gameplay, right? Yeah, I do not alter the walls here during gameplay. Yeah, so there's a lot of simple shortcuts I'm taking in this. One of them is that when I load maps, I turn off the LCD. And so it's like, this is how long it takes to load up a map. It's not very time consuming at all. So yeah, the performance doesn't really matter all that much. I just turn off the display and do auto tiling. You don't have that much time? Totally fine. I'm really happy you showed up. That's really awesome to me. So back to making the art image. Turn off LCD is better. Avoid it if you want to avoid headaches with music playback later on. Yep. So another shortcut that I'm doing is this game's gonna have no music. It's just gonna have some simple bleeps and bloops. So how many tiles do I have? I think I have 9 or 10. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. So let's do 6 times 16 and 2 times 16. All right. Ground and wall, because I have auto tiling, I'm not going to be using auto tiling in the tile set and the tile map editor. I'm just going to use a white tile for ground and a black tile for walls. So let's try on the grid. Zero is ground, so the first one has to be white. All right, and the second one has to be black. Because in the tiled map editor, I'm not going to be doing the auto tiling. Then the exit. Then wouldn't it be better to use auto tiling but reverse it during the conversion step? Did you deduplicate those by hand? Are you referring to tiles with deduplication? It's like I could have auto tiling in the tiled map editor, but I really just need something to give me a visualization of the map. I don't need pretty terrain. It's black walls and white grounds is fine. All right, triangle, diamond, square, pentagon, which I think are listed in order. Triangle, diamond, square, pentagon. That's probably the star after that. Then star and teleporter. Not wrong to cut corners, especially when you're doing this in the Game Boy comp. I was originally planning to do this for the Game Boy Compo. I think the pace I'm currently going at is not nearly fast enough to finish within a month. So I've been kind of wondering what I'm going to do about that. And the options I'm seeing is stream more often, or do more development off stream, or just sail right past the end date of the competition, just shrug the competition off. And it might end up being a combination of all three. But we'll see. But yeah. Yeah, it's like when the purpose is doing it for the Game Boy competition, is like for map editing, I just need something that's good enough for me to work. Yeah, whatever works, basically. All right. After the teleporter, the hero, the switch, and the barrier. The hero. The switch. And the barrier. And that is the tile set. For the purposes of... Whoops, what's going on there? Tile spaces. I'm not sure what the tile spaces file is. I'm going to go ahead and create a maps folder and then create tileset.png. All right, and so then in tiled, I'm creating a new tile set. I'm just going to call it tile set. So there's only going to be one for the whole game. It doesn't have a transparent color. There's 16 pixels. Just going to save this here. Then I don't think that I'm going to need to do anything with the tile set in the shell script. I'm going to save it as the JSON format anyway. All right. It needs to be... that should work. There we go. Not using GB boilerplate. Oh boy, this will probably frustrate you a ton, but I have like a severe case of not invented here, so I'm not even using hardware.inc. Here's my own thing. In my defense, some of it is quite thoroughly documented, but yeah, like everything is I wrote myself. All right, I don't need to add any attributes to this tile set. I just need to make maps. So where are the dimensions of the maps? Let's go off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 by 10. Well, you already know the arguments I would give against that. Yeah. All right, 11 by 10 map. Orthogonal CSV write down, so we want 11 by 10 map, and the maps are 16 by 16. Save as. So I think what I'm going to do, I think that I'm going to name the files. I'm going to give them a weird name that like starts with a number and then gives a title after that. And the number will help me with like ordering them, and the title will help me with recognizing them by name. And then I'm starting numbers from 10. I'm going to increment them in increments of 10 so that I have an easy way of reordering them without renaming every single file. Okay. So now when I want to make a map, actually, let's just start with that. I can go in here and the whole window on screen. Let's do that. It's easy for me to just, what is it, this? Get in here and draw the map. I can put an exit here, and I can put like a gem here and a gem here and a hero here, and let's zoom that in by 200%. And then lock this off. And then like, look at that, I've got a map. The internal order would be determined by the order of your include/inc bins in the controlling file. Yeah, so that's the other option that I'm considering. The thing that I'm thinking is that the shell script will also make the thing that creates the list, like not just the individual files, but also the entire list. And if I just have it go by a sorted number, you know, then the idea is that it's like, if I want to reorder the maps, I just renumber the map in the file name, and then the next time that I run the script, it will reorder in the output file. So I'm thinking of having the script control the order in code as well. All right. In fact, I'm going to move the hero over here. More than a single source of truth. I don't think so, because the script is going to produce a couple of assembly files, but those assembly files are going to be derived build artifacts, and not a thing where I'm like authoring truth. The only truth with the way that I would be ordering with these file names is that the only truth would be in the file names of the maps themselves. All right, let's just put the script in here. So what are we going to do? All right, the first thing that we need to do, actually, I'm going to give myself a second map. What did I call the second map? Breaking gems, that makes sense. Let's just draw like this over here. I don't know. Right here, right there. What is this? Are you referring to this by chance? The playdate. All right, so that gives me 2 maps. All right, so the first thing that I need. How do you import Node.js? I should have done more. What is it? Playdate? Playdate is, well, there's a website. Playdate's an upcoming little game console developed by Panic. It's coming out. Pre-orders are already open and it's releasing later this year. It's a cute little kind of Game Boy-like, except it has a crank. And it's got a 1-bit non-backlit display. And I was looking at it right now because I also have a version of this game on Playdate. Oop. So this is like actually like the 3rd or 4th time I've re-implemented this game. All right, how do you import modules in this? What was it? Like const path equals require path. Yeah. Okay. Const fs equals require fs. All right, now how do I read the contents of a directory again? fs.stat sync, I think it was. Not stat. List file. Node.js list files and directory. Reader. You have to go for the year. Totally understandable. Thanks for dropping by. Glad you could drop by. There it is. Okay. Oh, the tile set's in there. Yeah, I've got easy ways to filter that out. Yeah, totally understandable. And I haven't been very consistent about the times that I stream at, so. This is silly. That does what I want, so. All right. Let's open up one of these maps. Or let's see here. Let's start working on the maps array. Then file names dot for each file name. Yay, I found all the things. All right, so the first thing I want is data. Right? Yeah, oh, layers, okay. Okay, so the data from the layer. Layers 0.data. That should be, yep, okay. That's why I thought the map file format starts with like the indexes start from 1 because I think it uses 0 to represent a missing tile, so that you can like have blank tiles. So this is actually really easy. I just need to maps.push data. Actually, this is gonna be a really short stream, isn't it? This is gonna be a really short stream. Famous last words. Watch, I'll run into something that's like terribly difficult and have a huge amount of pain. All right, let's see here. So let's see here. The length of this should be 110, so I should get some 110s here. Yeah, cool. All right. All right, now one of the things I want to make sure to do is does readdir sync ensure alphabetical sorting? Okay, can you just sort strings by name? Can I just call .sort? Or do I have to take the returned value? Yeah, I can just call .sort. And the default's a string. Converting to strings. Yeah, okay, yeah, so I should be able to just call .sort and that'll ensure. That my sorted order is preserved. In fact, what I'm gonna do is carry across the file name. I'm gonna substring it to get rid of the numeric prefix. And I need to get rid of the file extension. Length. JSON 5 so minus 10, I think. This is silly, but I mean, if it works. Okay, so I got file names. You don't want underscores in the variable names. So I'm going to replace with underscores. All right. Okay. So that'll make the variable. So that'll make those names ready to be used in variables. All right. So next, it's time to start writing some assembly. So there's going to be the include file and the implementation file. Start mixing up in two languages at once there. I'm going to be building an array of each line. I'm just going to return the concatenated output. Little note at the top I like to put in my generated files. I just have bin files in there right now. Can add a new prefix to that. Whatever. All right, output.push equals maps.length and push and see. Cool. That was easy. This really is going to be a pretty short stream. Let's just see comment this out. Like map is a function, so I'm a little bit uncomfortable using that as a variable name, but whatever. And let's output just part of it right now. Map underscore map dot name. Let's put a new line at the top of every map. Cool, cool. All right, and then after that, let's put another new line, and then output.push map list. And then another for each. Cool. All right, I don't need this. All right. So now We're going to output the data. How much work do I want to put into making the numbers? Well, I guess I don't need the 0 prefixes on the numbers, because the largest number ends up being like A. Oh no, it ends up being B. All right. Format doesn't matter all that much. All right. Y equals 0. Y is less than 10, y plus plus. For let x equals 0, x is less than 11, x plus plus. Row dot push. Map dot data x plus y times 11. This is so hard coded. I'm gonna want to make it better later, because later I'm gonna want to be reusing this script in the Game Boy Advance version. It's like I want to reuse this script later in the Game Boy Advance version so I can make the same style of maps using tile there too. But to do that, one, I need to be able to make the script output C and not just assembly, and two, I need to make the map sizes customizable, because the Game Boy version has narrower maps than Game Boy Advance. I'd also like to use this script in the Playdate version to make new levels on the Playdate version. So I want to get a lot of use out of this script. So I'll make it better later. For now, though. Okay. And then just for... This is not the best way to do this, but... Okay, do I have the right amount of stuff? Shape looks roughly right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. All right. I mean, this alone would do it, but I still want to hex format it, so. Not quite hex formatting yet, but. All right, and then, oops. What was it? 2 string with the number 16. Okay. And then just to be, is it that one that's, oh yeah, well, it would have to be that one. So I should see a, yep, okay. So I see an 11 there. So now we're going to do .to string 16 to make it a hex literal. And now, boom, it went away. I like to make it uppercase, but I mean, this is all I need to do. Actually, by convention, am I doing 4 spaces? I am doing 4 spaces. That's interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and implement that in the script too. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then that doesn't apply in the header, right? Yeah, I don't have anything indented in the header. All right. So that was easy. Oh no, this won't be bad. Why did it not work? No such files are open dat slash, well, oh no, source slash dat. Yeah. Wow, this really is going to be a short stream. I've said that a lot, but like this really is the only thing that I'm planning to do this stream. So now we have that. Oh, I should add the tool generator file thing. Oh, and an extra new line at the end of an extra new line at the end of both of them. Okay. So now I should actually be able to delete. Oh boy, that sounds risky. Delete the old handwritten files. Oops. Okay, I'm going to do something a little bit less risky than just deleting it. I'm going to go to... Let's throw them in a zip file. Makefile will ignore those. So if I build... Oh, because the dependency file still exists. Well, that's annoying. All right, run the script again. All right, fine, I'll just put it in the makefile right now. Okay. So, what do we have here? Okay. Base sources, and then also source slash dat slash maps.asm. Actually, this will probably create a problem, but I'll resolve that later. Paths to app slash %.json. No, actually wildcard. Okay. And then here I have source slash dat slash maps.asm, which is dependent upon maps. Is that the right way to do that? I think so. Node map. It almost worked. Oh, wow. I need this include file, or I need the map to be converted first. It's probably not the best way to go about doing this, but Yeah, I think the problem with it, I figured what happened is that I think it ends up like assembling this twice. Okay, let's do a clean and a build. Okay, so what is happening? Okay, so it's running make map. It builds it. The linker doesn't like it because it's defined in object/debug/stats. See, the thing that I'm a little worried about is that like maps.asm might be being found by this pattern matcher. In fact, I think for this project, I have an easy way of taking care of that. I think I should only have it look in the... That's annoying. Oh, no, this will be fine. I should just have it manually search the directories I want it to search in. And ignore the dat directory. I think that did it. So now if I restart, that's the map I made. Okay, if I move forward, that's the second map I made. Cool. All right, now, does it break horribly if I change one of the maps? This is looking a little open-ended, so let's make it more squished. Let's go ahead and continue to have just some design embellishments there. All right, so I changed the map file. So what happens if I do a build? Nothing. Haha. Okay. Why didn't it do that? Maps.asm is dependent upon maps. Like it should be there. It should have the mod date. It should. Should have the correct mod date. It's dependent upon maps. Depend on the objects on assembly files. That's weird. Maps %.json. Is maps actually empty? Am I echoing this correctly? Yeah, okay. So, all right, so maps is strangely empty. Why is maps empty? Because it needs to be a star. There it is. Okay. And now, okay. So now I think it has the right dependency setup. All right. And so right now it should look like this. And now if I go into tiled and I draw a bit more, then go back to Visual Studio Code and build, it rebuilds the map. All right. Reload and boom. Well, that's the stream. Thanks for watching. That really about does it, I think. Oh, I don't want the barrier there. Yeah, I want to get rid of the barrier. So let's erase it. Build again, reload the map, tab over, there. All right. That was easy. Stream's coming in at just under an hour. Let's go to the agenda and mark that off as done. All right, so what did we do today? Let me switch back to the camera view. Okay. So what did we do today? Not a lot. We created a tile set in the tiled map editor, used it to start making a couple of maps, wrote a shell script to convert those maps to the map format that I'm using in the game, and then updated the make file to detect changes in those maps and automatically run the script. This makes it so that now my workflow is, let's go back to the main view. So that now my workflow is that I can just make maps in the map editor here, save them, build the game, reload, and then see my map inside the actual game. And this should make for a much more productive workflow for me for iterating on the maps than it would have been to be looking at them in text. So what I want to do between streams now is I want to do the work I was talking about at the beginning of the stream and go to carry the Game Boy Advance version a little bit forward and then figure out how I'm going to be handling coordinates universally throughout the game. And then I'm going to apply that here in the Game Boy version of the game, and I want to implement basic collision detection. And then maybe some more tasks. Maybe I'll start work. The gems are going to be a lot of work. Because what I want to do with the gems... All right, so as you can see in the Playdate animation, you can see, you can shove the gems around. And in the Playdate version of the game, the gems they're all just sprites. They're sitting on top of the background. And so when the player shoves a gem, I just move the sprite, right? In the Game Boy version of the game, the gems start off as being part of the background map. So when it comes time to me to support actually shoving the gems around, what I'm going to need to do is once a gem starts being shoved, I need to pop it out of the background map, replace it with dirt tiles, put a gem sprite on top of the map, slide the gem sprite over to the new position, erase the gem sprite, and then write the gem back into the tile position, or back into the background map. And that's going to take some doing. So it's like, I'd like to do that in the next stream, but I don't know how long that's going to take. It could take a while. But I think that's going to do it. It's my shortest stream so far, and I was figuring it was going to be. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.